It's also a big lesson for every boss lady who is out there, especially when you're a single boss lady. It just says, hell hath no fury than a woman scorned. Again, dear bloomers. If you asked my opinion, I would tell you that Fani Willis almost single-handedly ruined her career and her reputation. And if she wants to win back some respect, she has to make better choices going forward. And I think that what she has experienced right across the US and internationally in the public space is also a big lesson for every boss lady who is out there, especially when you're a single boss lady. Any organization of worth will have an HR department, which would have policies that are in place to manage situations where staff and staff have relationships. Now, those policies are meant to not just protect the organization, but also to protect the two individuals involved, because one day you're loving each other, the next day you might pull apart. So the organization helps to provide you with leeways with which you can both enter, stay, or continue within that organization if at the end of the day you break up. But in Fani Willis's case here, unfortunately, she appears to have entered a secret. Now, the reason I use the word secret and not private is because when you bring your daddy on to the stand to give testimony on your behalf, and daddy says he was not even aware of the relationship, if that is true or not, let's go with the fact that it is true. If you have a relationship with someone and people who are very close to you do not know about and you come out and say they do not know about that relationship, then it's no longer private, it's secret. Because you are withholding critical information, and when you hold something in secret, then there's something that you are hiding. You want a private relationship because you don't want, you don't want people, all of Georgia or all of to know about your business. You want to keep it private, but you must not keep it secret, because if you keep it secret, then something is fishy. Now, those relationships between a senior staff and a junior staff even has an added layer, several added layers of complexities because of the power dynamics and all of that. Now imagine, for instance, let me show you how this can be very dangerous. Imagine if Wade and Fani had fallen out, and imagine if Wade was someone who was an irresponsible man, and Fani, maybe something had happened in that relationship and Fani made a move to fire Wade. Imagine if Wade had refused to just take that letter of the what do you call those letters they give when they fire people? I can't remember the word now. He receives the letter and he refuses to sign, and rather he could sue Fani and her office for what? For attempting to fire him on the grounds of loss of wages or loss of livelihood. He could say that because he did not want to continue a relationship in which Fani Willis herself was interested in continuing, that is the basis on which Fani fired him, not because he did a poor job. If you went to court with that allegation in place, with the fact that that relationship was also secret, and he presented whatever it is, Fani would be in a much bigger trouble than she is right now, because she's the boss, he's a subordinate. There is a need to fire. He's claiming loss of wages or loss of livelihood because he does not want to continue that relationship. It'll be difficult to convince a jury or even the public in general that he is not telling the truth, except she can present paperwork to show the quality of his work. But even if she's able to do that, the next question would also have been, first of all, why did you enter into that relationship? And secondly, why is this relationship secret? It muddles up the waters. Now imagine if Wade was the one that is the man. Imagine if Fani was the man and Wade was the woman. Society would already pass judgment, because we're already used to So many stories and histories of men who take advantage of their female colleagues in the office, especially managers who are in top positions, and the other junior colleagues in the office. We already know, we've heard about these things, and I'm sure before even the facts and the proof and the evidence comes out in the courts, in the public domain, we would already pass judgments, especially the women folk. So you must understand how complicated Fani Willis, what the kind of complexities and the buhaha that she created, unnecessarily created for herself. But in this case, why all of this became exposed is because scripture says, hell hath no fury than a woman scorned. And the woman scorned in this case is Wade's ex-wife. Because during the divorce proceedings, now she wants to what? She wants to call Wade to testify, because now she exposed the relationship, and she seemingly appears to have coordinated with lawyers for Trump and some of the other defendants, and coordinated with them and brought that into the public space. And one of the reasons Fani gave,
nobody ever lived with me in the condo. That was
entering into that relationship.
My word. Other than that one night, I don't think anyone ever. This was a very lonely period, but nobody ever lived with me in the condo. That was my word. Other than that one night, I don't think anyone ever. This was a very lonely period, but just a very lonely time.
A lot of what fueled me staying in
Now,
this
where
situation
have I heard that before?
really was the fact that, number one, I didn't want to be alone.
Reesa, teesa.
A lot of what fueled me staying in this situation really was the fact that, number one, I didn't want to be alone.
That was Reesa Teesa from Who the F Did I Marry? You see, why you make a decision is as important as which decision you make. Women must resist the urge to make relationships from a place of desperation and from a place of loneliness, because your tendency to make a rational, beneficial decision will be greatly diminished if you do not put your heart matters, address heart issues with your brain rather than addressing it with your emotions. So how she handled the whole matter was also a spin-off of that emotional thinking. She wasn't thinking rationally. She wasn't thinking logically. In my view, she was thinking very, very emotionally. She was triggered, and she felt like she needed to, because the first time that allegation was made, the first time we heard that there was a relationship between her and Wade, she did not come out in public to address the situation, rather she went to church.
Them all the same.
And what she did was rather unfortunate.
I appointed 3 special counselors. Is my right to do? Paid them all the same hourly rate. They only attacked one.
She played the race card, y'all. What does the fact of Wade being an African have to do with the whole matter? You dated the guy. The issue still remains that you were in an affair. Did you, Fani Willis, were you in an affair at any time with Mr. Maid? Yes or no? Let's agree on that first before we start talking about the other things, whether it was improper, whether the hiring process was followed, whether she financially benefited from that relationship. The Bronx of the matter, the first question that came out was, did you have an affair with Wade? And that's why when the judge took a decision to say, okay, you know what? I do not find proof or ample evidence to show that there was financial gains by Fani for employing Wade. However, there were a lot of decisions that were taken that was based on her exercising what? Poor choices and bad choices and poor judgment. So boss ladies, especially single boss ladies, approach relationships. Heart matters must be approached with your head much more than with your emotions. It's good for her that she's able to keep this case, because it's a career defining case. But she has to sacrifice Wade. But she almost single-handedly ruined her own career, her reputation, because of loneliness. I bet she's learned a lesson, and I'm sure all of us will also learn a lesson from her, from what happened to her, and go forward and be wise as women in the workplace. Have a great day.